This is Tom Meyer, the superintendent of the Bellevue Community Schools, with this week's Believe in the Blue update. Just a few things I want to share. One, about student involvement. It is extremely important for students to be involved. When students are involved with extracurricular activities, from something school sponsored to something outside school, it does improve their attendance, their grades, their referrals to the office, and several other positive things when it comes to learning. So I encourage you to have your kids involved with something. Keep them involved, whatever the case may be. It's a very positive thing. It puts them around a positive peer group typically, and ultimately allows them to feel a connection to school and to help build relationships. So it's just kind of my little spiel on the importance of involvement for the school and for the students, most importantly, that way. As I talk about involvement, some things coming up that way. There's several archery tournaments coming up that way. We have a very strong community archery program that involves a lot of our students. Just want to thank them for all of their efforts that they've done in the last few years. There's been several people involved with that. I think that's really important. Also, we have some basketball games coming up and other things. And bowling, we have a middle school boys basketball. The 8th grade is playing North Cedar at home on Thursday night. The 7th grade goes to North Cedar. This gives our students some more opportunities to play longer games or more quarters. There's also a varsity bowling meet that night, and that is at home at the bowling alley here at Horizon Lanes, and that is against Comanche, a strong bowling team. On Friday, we have a JV and varsity girls and boys basketball at Marquette, and that will start at 3:45 with the JV games. On Saturday is a wrestling sectionals. Their state competition basically starts, if you want to call it like the playoffs for football or the sectionals or districts that we have for basketball. This is what theirs consists of, and that starts this Saturday at North Cedar at noon. I know Coach Rebarger would love to have some people out there watching the students, and more importantly, the students would love to have you out there that way as they look to try to advance. On Monday, excuse me, on Monday we have a school board meeting, and that's at 6:30 in the school board conference room in middle school, high school. As always, you are welcome to attend that at any time. Feel free to stop in. And then also that evening we have a middle school boys basketball. The 7th grade is playing at home that evening, and the 8th grade is playing at Monticello to try to give them more quarters. We split them. And then there's also a varsity reserve boys basketball game versus Maquoketa. That's at Bellevue. Then Tuesday night we turn around. The middle school boys, 7th and 8th grade, both play against Easton Valley, and that's at the Bellevue Elementary Gym. And the JV and varsity girls and boys basketball play at Northeast. So those are some things coming up in that regard that way. Obviously, on Monday, we did not have school. We had roughly a foot of snow somewhere in that area at least. Just getting roads cleared, school grounds ready, and things like that. Just the safety of our students is always the priority when we look at school, and having school or not having school. Excuse me. There are always some times when we, we'll work to get things done. At all times, we work to try to make it possible for the students to get here, but we also want to make sure they get here safely. And on Monday, that just was not the case. School calendar, right now, the scheduled start date for the Bellevue Community Schools will likely be August 31st. That has not been board approved yet. There has been some talk at the state level of having a policy change to that and allowing school boards local control like it has been for several years to decide when to start school. There's been a waiver system in the past. There is still a waiver system, but for schools to meet that waiver, it is very difficult and virtually, I'll say impossible, and that's not quite the right word for it, but just so you're aware, right now it's August 31st. Could that move yet? Yes, that could. I will keep you posted. I know that's a question that some people are asking as they're planning vacations or trying to get off work for to take a family vacation and everything like that way. So I will keep you posted on that. At this time, I just want to go through a couple things here. Or just one broader thing here, expectations for students in classrooms and expectations of our teachers in classrooms. And we're far from perfect. We'll be the first to admit that. I'll be the first to admit that. But we want to try to create classroom environments where students are engaged in their learning and develop a passion for learning. One thing is, we want to focus on learning with student engagement and that's, how are we engaging students in their learning? And I believe that happens through some real life, relevant experiences, some problem-based learning where they're solving things with their brain, with their hands, with their thoughts, with other people, and that communication. Those things are very important for our students to develop, whether that's in preschool, kindergarten, third grade, sixth grade, ninth grade, or a senior. I use the example, if we do not provide opportunities for critical thinking and problem solving in their daily lives here in school, we are doing them a disservice. Yes, they will get some of that outside of school, but we need to make sure that school resembles work in many ways, or college in many ways, whatever the case may be, but we need to give them situations where they have to think and develop some solutions to maybe unknown problems that way, or unknown solutions to problems. Students also always want to know what they are learning and why am I learning this? Why is this relevant? And part of our job as educators is to help them recognize that. Writing is another component. When we've talked with businesses, they talk about the verbal communication and the written communication. When I write something on paper, it should not be text language. It needs to be correct spelling, correct grammar. It cannot just be something slopped together in many ways. It needs to be something that is worthwhile. We need to make sure students are learning and checking for their understanding through different assessments and everything like that way. And going back to the whole aspect of relevance, I think if we really truly want kids to learn, it has to be relevant to them. We have to make them see, make them understand, help them see, help them understand how it is relevant. In our own daily lives, we may be asked to do things at work that we think, why do I have to do this? Explain this to me, why I have to do this. And sometimes we don't get an explanation, we just have to do it. I understand. I have some of those things as well. But it is important that we explain why something is important for them to learn, and so they can recognize it, so they can explain to others as well. So those are just a few things I wanted to emphasize here when we talk about education. And the second thing is technology. Technology plays a part in that. It allows students to see some different things out there and different approaches to different problems that are there, and learning different things. It is not 24/7 technology, being on the computer and everything like that. That's not healthy either. There has to be that balance. There has to be that human and personal contact. Hope everyone has a great week, and we'll go from there. I'll see you next week.